Welcome viewers. In today's presentation, we shall be talking about functional matrix theory. Functional matrix theory is one of the most accepted theories of growth and development as this theory was proposed by Melvin Moss in the year 1960 and it is considered to be an extension of the functional cranial concept of van der Kolk. The theory states that the origin, growth and maintenance of skeletal tissues and organs are always secondary and compensatory and mechanically obligatory responses to temporally and operationally prior events and processes occurring in related non-skeletal tissues, organs and functioning spaces. The theory appears to be very complicated, but to put in simple words, Melvin Moss is trying to say that the growth and maintenance of the skeletal tissue is secondary to the growth and development of the non-skeletal tissues, organs and functioning spaces. Moss stresses the dominance of non-osseous structures of the craniofacial complex over the bony parts. Moss claims that the growth of the skeletal components, whether it is endochondral or intramembranous, is largely dependent on the growth of the functional matrices. The growth of the functional matrix is primary and that of the skeletal unit is secondary. Now, there are many functions performed in the craniofacial region. For example, the function of mastication, function of olfaction. So each function is carried out by a group of soft tissue which are supported and protected by related skeletal elements. Soft tissues and skeletal elements related to a single function are termed as functional cranial component. Now, all the skeletal elements associated with a single function are termed as a skeletal unit, and all the soft tissue associated with single function are termed as functional matrix. The origin, growth and maintenance of the skeletal units is dependent almost exclusively on its related functional matrix. Let us see what is the skeletal unit composed of. The skeletal unit is mainly composed of the bone, cartilage and tendinous tissues. When such a bone consists of number of skeletal units, we call them microskeletal units. Both maxilla and mandible are formed of a number of such microskeletal units. For example, the mandible consists of many microskeletal units: the condylar process, coronoid process, submandibular fossa, body of the mandible, ramus, and alveolar process. When adjoining portions of a number of neighboring bones are united to function as a single cranial component, we term this as macroskeletal unit. The cranial vault is made up of many bones. Together these bones perform a common function of protecting the brain and hence form a macroskeletal unit. Similarly, in the craniofacial region, we have mandible and maxilla, which also serve as macroskeletal units. There are two types of functional matrices, the periosteal matrix and the capsular matrix. The periosteal matrix relates the matrix to those tissues that influence the bone directly through the periosteum. The muscles are attached to the periosteum and consequently are examples of this kind of matrix. The experimental removal of the temporalis muscle or its denervation invariably results in the actual diminution of the size and shape of the coronoid process where the temporalis is attached, or even its total disappearance. Similarly, established hyperactivity of the temporalis muscle produces increase in the size and shape of the coronoid process. All the functional cranial components, that is, functional matrices, together with the skeletal units, organize in the form of a cranial capsule called capsular matrix. Example of capsular matrix is neurocranial capsules. Capsular matrices act on the macroskeletal unit, that is, whole mandible, and they bring about translation or passive growth. They do so by changing the volume of the capsule within which the functional cranial components are embedded. So the capsular matrices are responsible for the growth of macroskeletal unit, whereas the periosteal matrix is responsible for the growth of microskeletal unit. If we were to summarize the functional matrix theory in one line, then it would be rightfully said as the blueprint of the growth is in the soft tissue. Thank you for listening. If you like the video, please subscribe.